Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're stepping into the daily routine of a woman who has mastered the art of reinvention. A woman who has built a career in fashion, music, dance, film, and business over decades. Still performs with the energy of somebody half her age. How inspiring! And this person is Jennifer Lopez. Whether you admire her for discipline, longevity, or the ability to reinvent herself over and over again throughout the years, one thing for sure is that J.Lo is not just talented, no. Instead, she is intentional and relentless in achieving her goals. And for sure, there is something that you and me, we can learn from looking at her daily routine. That's why in this video, we're going to look at 4 different parts. Her daily routine, what are the benefits, and also what you can apply into your daily routine, looking at her schedule. And last but not least, this is very important, the things that you need to adjust before even trying out any of her practices every day. You ready to rumble? Da-da-dum! Yes, we are. So then let's start right away with her daily routine. Part number 1. One thing for sure is that her daily routine is built around discipline, self-care, and high performance. And in order to achieve all of that, she makes sure that she sleeps between 8 to 10 hours every single day. And here's something really interesting, because she protects her sleep like a CEO. Because this is her number 1 beauty secret. And it makes sense, right? Remember those days when you maybe don't sleep enough? You wake up the next morning, you look into the mirror, you look completely wrinkled, and your energy is completely low. You're like, oh, okay, how can I do this? But instead, if you want to perform at the top of your level, you want to make sure that you have enough energy throughout the day. And of course, you need to sleep a lot so that your batteries can really charge up. I know I'm not J.Lo, but I try to sleep 8 hours every day. But here's the thing, in the evening, I think of, I could do this, I could do that, and let me do this. Oh, let me quickly also take care of that. And then before I see it, it's already less than 8 hours that I have available for my sleep. So I just take what I get, but it still is very interesting for her to see that really she tries to sleep between 8 to 10 hours every single day. The next part is also interesting. She wakes up around 6 to 7 a.m. and her mornings are more calm, they're more grounded and intentional. And the first thing she does in the morning is that she hydrates herself and starts with affirmations. Of course, hydrating, she drinks a glass of water. But the interesting part about the affirmation is that instead of scrolling through the phone, looking what's happening, looking at her agenda, all the things she needs to do, no. First, J.Lo starts with affirmations. But why is she first starting with affirmations? Because this is very important to know from her side, is that she believes that whatever you put in your head, the words that you have in your mind, this is what creates your reality. So in order to be at the top of her level, she really puts in affirmations in her mind that encourage her to really do her best throughout the day. So some of her affirmations are, I am open and receptive to the goodness and abundance that the universe has to offer. I am in perfect health. We are safe. I am safe. I am whole. I am enough. I love myself. I am youthful and timeless at every age. Wow! Doesn't it feel good just to hear those positive affirmations? Just hearing those positive affirmations, does it also give you already some wings? And you're ready to fly. So that's the point of using those affirmations. Those affirmations, she uses them to really put herself at the best of her level in order to be energized and ready to have a successful day. After her emotional warm-up, she is ready for the next big part of her daily routine, which is her workout. And one thing for sure, J.Lo just doesn't do the normal workout. No, her workouts are intense and intentional. It means she trains like a professional athlete who is ready to perform at the next world tour. That means her exercise includes 5 important components: strength training, dance training, core work, flexibility and mobility, and high intensity interval trainings. Isn't that amazing to really see that every single day J.Lo exercises so that when the next big is on her schedule, she is ready to perform at her best. And it's going to be easy for her because she put in all the work already every single day preparing for the event, right? And that's one thing that I find very inspirational, because for me, whenever I feel lazy of going to the gym, I'm just telling myself, would J.Lo quit or would she go? And one thing I know for sure is that she definitely would go, because skipping gym would mean that she would give up some of the energy that she needs for her next world tour. And that's helpful to know, because for me, if I were to skip gym, I might miss some energy that I need in order to accomplish all of my goals, right? So that's something very interesting that we can learn from her, is that preparation really will help you on D-Day when you need your skills. The next part of her daily routine is that her food. She eats clean, nutrient-dense meals. That means her diet focuses on organic vegetables, clean proteins, hydration, no caffeine, no alcohol, no processed food. And her discipline is just legendary. I mean, I try to adapt some of those parts, but I have to tell you, I just love cheese. And whenever I eat some nice pasta, or if I want to have something baked in the oven, it just feels so nice to add a bit of cheese on top. So that's something very interesting, that she's able to just say no cheese, none of those things, to really have all the energy that she needs. And of course, it also makes sense, because whatever you put in your body, it also impacts the energy, the output from your side, the energy that you have throughout the day in order to hit your goals. So that's a very great inspiration to really think about the food that we put into ourselves in order to energize ourselves. Then let's have a look at the next part of her daily routine, which is her rehearsals. And she rehearses like a performer, not a celebrity, which means that her rehearsals include full choreography, vocal warm-ups, stage blocking, endurance training. And one thing for sure, you can see that her performances, they're not just random, they happen, as they come along. No, they are well prepared so that everybody, all the spectators, are going to have a great time joining her performance. Isn't that interesting? Because there's something very important that we can learn from her daily routine in that sense, is that if you want to be a top performer in your niche, you need to make sure that you put in all the work beforehand, build up momentum, really do your best every single day, so that at one point you are going to be the top performer. The next part is that she also manages multiple businesses. Those businesses are a beauty brand, a production company, a fashion line, real estate ventures, and creative projects. And you can see that her workday is structured and intentional. And what I find very inspiring in looking at this is that it shows you that you just don't have to follow one path. If you're passionate about many different things, you can follow them all along, and it's a good way just to balance yourself. It's a good encouragement for me personally, because I love my job, but there are other things that I also enjoy doing. For example, I love to work on Simply Put, share some pieces of information that I gathered throughout the years that I think are going to be helpful for you. Or I love to be creative, do some stitching, some beading, some whatever it is, some quilling, whatever I really find interesting to try out new creative art. This I like to do on anything creative. Or sometimes I also like to help people with some mentoring, some coaching in terms of topics where they need help at their point of life. And working on all of those things, I've realized really helps me just to balance myself. And it's a good way, because one thing you learn in one area helps you to be even better at another area. So that's something very interesting to see from her daily routine, which means you don't have to just focus on one thing. If you're passionate about other points, just go with it. The next point is that she spends time with her children, her family members, but also close ones. And that's a way for her also to remain emotionally grounded. Because picture this. Imagine you had a busy day, you really accomplished all of the different goals, and you're so excited to share it with somebody, and you open the door home and you see your loved ones, and you can tell them all the little victories that you had throughout the day. And it's just much nicer to share it with somebody who really also encourages you to be the best you can be, right? And that's something interesting, that for her, family is very important. And last but not least, she ends her day with a daily routine, which is more calm, grounded, but also intentional or reflective of the day, which means it includes skincare, stretching, meditation, and of course also early bedtime, so that she can sleep between 8 to 10 hours. And that's very interesting because for me personally, I haven't thought about doing meditation or stretching before going to bed. I rather think of closing my day, looking at the points that happened during the day. Are there some important points that I kind of need to make a mental note or close a chapter if there was a conflict or something. But it's interesting to also not just calm your mind, but also your body. Take care of your body, stretch and meditate. So that's something interesting. Now we looked at the daily routine of Jennifer Lopez, but I'm curious to hear which part of her daily routine did you find the most interesting? Are you already doing some of the points that J.Lo is doing? Write it down in the comments and let me know, because I'm sure there is something very interesting and you can also inspire other people with the actions you're doing. So let us know, and I'm curious to see more of that. Now we looked at her daily routine, but let's have a look also at the benefits. But before we go to the benefits, one thing is very important to know, because her daily routine reflects who she is, a performer, an entrepreneur, and it's adapted to what she needs at that moment. Then let's have a look at benefit number 1, ageless energy. Her sleep, diet, training, affirmation, this entire combination keeps her youthful and strong no matter what. If you remember, she starts her day with positive affirmations, telling herself that she is youthful and timeless at every age. Just by already thinking this, she calls it into reality with the food choices that she makes, with the exercises that she's doing. Isn't it amazing to see that if you really adjust a few points here and there throughout your life, it can have such a massive impact? And if you see her, she really looks very energetic, very strong, and it's, for me personally, a very strong inspiration to do my best every single day. The second point that we have is her emotional stability, because her affirmations and gratitude and connection with her family keeps her grounded in an industry full of chaos. And it is really good to see that focusing on yourself in a busy environment, it just keeps you grounded and helps you to remain focused on your goal. Imagine this, you have a busy day, you have a lot of people talking to you, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and instead of listening like, oh you said that, oh you said that, oh yes maybe this, no, instead she really focuses on herself, on her own skills, on her own identity, her own strength, and really just pushes ahead and focuses on the points that are important to her. And that's a really great inspiration, because next time maybe you have something busy happening in your life, remember, affirmations, gratitude, or also being in close contact with those people who lift you up can help you to remain focused on your goal and not be sidetracked by the noise around you. The third point is her high performance stamina. Her workouts and rehearsals give her endurance to perform for hours. We have seen the exercise that she follows every single day. And that's just amazing that you can really see all the energy you put in for exercising. It's going to be a triple reward, because you will have all the energy you need for all the other tasks you need to do. So next time you feel lazy going to the gym, remember it's a great investment in your energy. Because if you don't, you might be even more sluggish. But if you go, yes, you have way more energy to do your best during the day. Then, and you know what, you don't even need to start big. You can also say it to yourself just 5 minutes, and you already gain some of the benefits of exercising. All right, now we really move to the next benefit, which is creative clarity, because her structured routine frees her mind for creativity. I mean, instead of thinking in the morning, what do I do next? Do I brush my hair? Do I take care of my face? Do I first go have breakfast? No, she really structured her day. And following the structure really allows her, instead of wasting her mental energy on what am I going to do next, she really knows the different steps and can focus on how to have the best output of the day, or to think about the next things that are going to add value to all of her different fans around the world, right? So remember, a structured day can help you to free up your mind for more creative topics, for more idea generation. Benefit number 5, reinvention through discipline. As we could see, J.Lo consistently works on reinventing herself over and over again. And this is the result of her consistency throughout the time, her daily exercises. And you can see her routine is not just based on perfection to be the best every single day. No, it is built so that she can maintain it over a long time. It is built for longevity. This means it's based on the level of consistency, her sleep, her training, but also self-care. And regularly working on this helps her to identify things that she could improve, that she could change in order to really be the best Jennifer Lopez ever in order to add value to others. And that's quite interesting. And we have seen it in her exercise schedule. We have seen it in her rehearsal schedule, that no matter what, she tries to give her best. But in order to give the best to the audience, she also needs to balance it with focusing on maintaining herself, with training, with focusing on what she eats, the gratitude, the affirmations, etc. And of course the self-care. So that's something also interesting to learn from her schedule. Wonderful. So these were the first two parts. We looked at the daily routine, we looked at the benefits, but now you know what? It gets even more interesting because we're going to look at things that you could apply to your daily routine, and of course very important things that you should adjust before trying out any of those tips. You curious? Then stay tuned for part number 2, and it will follow very soon. And in the meantime, let me know in the comments which part you liked, which part you want to hear more of, because I'm regularly doing those reviews of daily routines to share with you points that you and I can learn in order to improve our lives. And let me know in the comments whom you would like to hear more of. I'm curious and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye! Oh yeah, psst, one more thing. Remember to subscribe to the channel so that you always stay on top of what's happening right now. Speak to you soon!